Okay, got it. So let's get to level 3, which is the purpose of life. Okay. So I want you guys, I usually do this by asking that question first and going back to it. But I'm trying it in a different way. Let's throw out a few thoughts. What do you think is the purpose of life? Why does life exist? And I don't just mean human life, I mean biological life, I mean plant life, I mean, what is the purpose of life? Thoughts? To be? Useful, okay, useful, that's a good one, okay. What else? Serve and cement. Serve and submit. Whoa, okay. Serve, submit, okay. I'm just asking, what's the purpose of life? Hang on a second, let me ask you a question. For a bacteria or an oak tree, for a bacteria and oak tree, serve or submit? To survive. Yeah. No, I mean life as like a bacterial life. Okay. Can we call it for the moment? We've got a reasonable level. Okay. Let me suggest something to you. There's about 50% of these answers that kind of coagulate down to one basic framing. To evolve, to see possibilities, to fulfill your role, to live to your potential, youthful, I have no idea, bring yourself to whatever your universal express consciousness, procreate, etc. I'm going to suggest something to you. I'm going to suggest to you, and I'm going to ask you to take a premise. The purpose of life is to grow. And it could be biological growth, spiritual growth, whatever. Every life form on the planet is busy trying to grow. Because if you don't grow, you die. Any species is trying to evolve, which is a form of growth. Any disagreements with that? Every religion will say, grow, improve, get better, whatever. Yes. Same concept. Can we agree on that as a premise to get to the next discussion? Because we've only got 15 minutes left before we get kicked out. Yeah. Damn it. Almost got through. Evolve, fine, fair enough. You use the words you want. Grow/evolve. Yes. It's an active process to evolve. Yeah. Yes, it is. It is. So it's really interesting, right? No. If you don't grow, you don't survive. If you don't grow, you die. You decay. You either have growth or decay. Let me suggest that all human functionality devolves down to either growth or decay. All life activity, any life form in the world. Oh, God damn it. Jeez. Okay, what I'd like to do is just establish a basic premise that fundamental tenet, maybe not the major one, but a major tenet of life is to grow. Are we good with that? Yeah, it's growing. I can cut, yeah, it's to grow. It's to get better. Okay, so here's the fascinating question. If a fundamental premise of life, or if you can accept that a fundamental premise of life is to grow, evolve, get better, improve, right? Which I think we can restfully seem to. My fascinating question is, how does that happen? How does growth actually happen? And so the thing that I've been working on the most, which we have now 7 minutes to discuss, is how does growth happen? How does growth actually happen? How does anything grow? How does the fundamental process happen of any kind? So I'm going to give you a couple of metaphysical constructs here. So a guy called George Land, who's a NASA researcher, was tasked with this construct. He was told by NASA, figure out as we explore the world and we go to the moon, maybe we go to Mars, how does growth happen? And he came up with 3 constructs. He said, level 1 is to survive. Level 2 is to incrementally improve. And level 3 is to transition those layers into another thing. That was his framing of how growth happens. I've looked at it in 18 different ways, and I've been studying this for like now 30 years almost, and I've come up with two constructs. You have two phases in the concept of growth. One is a dynamic process of growth, and another process of consolidation. So let's say you're a student. You spend a year learning, and then you take an exam that consolidates that learning. You pass or you fail, and you go to the next level. And it's a spiral, fractal process. So I can have physical growth. Each of my cells grows. A snake's skin, a snake will grow, consolidate, ditch its old skin, and then it can grow some more, right? You have this really interesting bifurcation and interaction between the growth phase. So in a business, sales and marketing is the growth side of it. Accounting and fulfillment is the consolidation side of it. In a relationship, love is this part, marriage is the consolidation. Because it's saying I'm solidifying this is potential energy into kinetic energy. You're saying I'm going to take the unknown into the known. And I'm going to argue that every piece of life as we know it fits into one of those two phases. When you go out to eat at a restaurant, you can either pick the unknown restaurant, the new one in the neighborhood that you've never tried, and it could be really great, but you don't know where it's going to go, or you can go to your old favorite. You know what's going to happen, you know exactly what's going to happen, and that's what you choose. Both are good. You choose which type of good that you want. And I'll argue that every piece of life fits into one of those two phases. We have 4 minutes now. Comments? Yeah. Agree? Thank you. Yeah. Yes. Yes, exploration. It's exactly the same thing. Growth, consolidation, and you need both. Every piece of ourselves is like breaking through. Really, the best visual I found of this is lava flowing underwater. If you ever watch a video of lava flowing underwater, the lava's there and it breaks through. You get this molten rock. The water boils. There's lots of steam, and then it freezes, and it kind of holds its form for a bit. Then it breaks through again, and it kind of boils for a bit, and it freezes again. And that process continues unabated, indefinitely. And as long as and what feeds it is energy. So you need energy feeding this process. And by the way, that energy equals love. I've only got 90 seconds left, so I've got to move really fast. Okay, so love, or energy, or work, pick whatever metaphysical construct you want, feeds the process of cycling through growth, consolidation, to get us through these different layers. Yes, they may not. Now you get into all sorts of karmic stuff, right? So I could choose to be an accountant and not grow at all. I just want to be. Don't bother me. I just want to do day-to-day accounting. And I'm going to work at that company, and I'm going to do accounting for that company, and that's fine. Now you're introducing karmic principles around this. You're taking a risk. It's still good, but there's no growth in it. To take growth, you have to take a risk. Oh, Jesus, now we're the business model and purpose is totally authoritative. You could apply either of those to this construct. It doesn't matter one or the other. Peter has a bias towards turning everything into a business because that's the most efficient mechanism. Think about this idea. We've run the world in the last 500 years on commerce, economy, capitalism, money, right? We've run the world on money as the main mode of discourse in the world. We're shifting that today from money to information. Because today I'd much rather gather, if I'm a startup, I'd way rather gather information about my users and not money because they're fungible, and Facebook. I'll gather 1 billion users and then turn it into money later. Okay? So they're fungible today. But over time, money is the higher order bit. If you think about any bank, a bank used to move money around. Today, a bank moves information about money around. I should say a boot, because we're in Canada now. And so, by the way, do all of you know why Canadians say a boot? Because when all the folks from the UK emigrated, the Irish went, fuck me, seriously? Wow, that's severe, right? The Irish went to the US, the Scottish came to Canada, all the Scottish say a boot. That's why. I think that's a great place to end this discussion.